And the first minor approval we have is the approval of the Pollinator Garden at Roberts Ridge Park and payment for deferred with payment from the deferred revenue account. If there's would be a motion, we could have some discussion, ask some question. We have a motion. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Also.
We have a motion and a second. What questions might we have from the board?
The revenue account can be used for any purpose that we feel is appropriate. Is that how it works?
This account was set up specifically for Roberts Ridge Park.
It was?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That
Thank
was
you.
part of the development agreement.
Thanks.
And the donor, as part of the agreement, I guess it wasn't a donation, but as part of the agreement, they specified that Roberts Ridge Park would be.
Yeah, it was part of the land development agreement.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I'm in favor of a pollinator garden. I understand the meaning and the usefulness of them. It just seemed like a lot of money to me for that. Have we? I know we don't need to go out to competitive bid, but have we looked at other bids to see if we can get a better deal on that rather than spend close to $90,000?
I think I can answer that. This is someone that has donated her time and resources to do a large part of this for free. So the design and a lot of the work is being done for free, and we are only paying for the plants themselves. So that includes the preparation of the land, the tilling, killing the grass by whatever method she chooses to kill the grass, and tilling the land, as I said, putting down wood chips to preserve the part that's already been tilled to make sure that no other grasses grow back. So there's a lot of preparation for this, which is for free. She's doing this for free. As I said, everything has been for free, except we are paying for the plants. The labor, it's a community event, and the community is donating their time to plant the plants, as we have done with the 32 trees that we have already installed in Roberts Ridge Park, which was a community event, and they're all doing stunningly well. They were all done in preparation for perhaps in the future we could do a pollinator garden, because they're oak trees. Oak trees are symbiotic with the relationship with birds and the whole cycle of life that goes on there. So I would say you could not get this for $9,200. This is a $30,000 project. So a lot of this is her liking the community aspect of this and willing to put something towards it. This is not something that was planned. I had mentioned it to her just because she was giving a lecture, and she said, let me go up and take a look. And when she looked, she said, well, I love the idea that the community is involved in this, and she would like to help us make it something that is educational for kids or anybody that wants to know how the food chain works and how the birds survive and all of that. And it's beautiful in nature. It's not a wildflower garden, it's a pollinator garden. So each plant serves a purpose, and as I said, the community is going to be involved in planting and taking care of this insofar that it needs care, and it doesn't. It's relatively self-sustaining. So there's very minimal things we have to do to make sure just once a year that the margins are kept clean, and that's pretty much it. It dies and then it grows, and it dies and it grows, and it stays in that one area, and it's going to be a beautiful thing for everybody.
I do like to hear with the community involvement. I think that's a a key thing.
Yes.
The proposal does, however, list labor total and a dollar amount.
The labor total in the dollar, it's not really labor in the dollar amount, it's more of a lot of this has been changed. This is the initially what she presented, we thought we had about $13,000, we don't, we have about 9,200. And so, she has changed her plans accordingly, and like I said, it's all gonna fit all of that, including labor, plants and everything. And like I said, the labor is intensive in so far as, putting vinegar down to clear the grass, then covering it with plastic. And there's many people that are gonna have to do this. This is not how it was originally planned, but that's how, because some people had some comments about using an herbicide. So that's how it's going to do it. So there's a little more labor that was originally going to be, so.
Alright, so I'm not clear, what I have in front of me that we're proposing to vote on says we're spending $2,600 for 40 hours of labor at $65 an hour. Are we not voting on this right now, or?
We are voting on this along with the whole, it's a whole entire package. So, as I said, most of the labor is already done. She's used satellites to do projection, using their skill, and that is what they do. Their job is doing meadow conversions and things like that. So, yes, we are paying a certain amount of money, but the money that it would actually cost to do this project is over $30,000. So what we are getting for this, plus the free consultation and design, and this design can be picked up and used anywhere and everywhere, and we plan to do that if we can in other parts of the township. So this is of no charge to us. It's not proprietary. It's proprietary because she gave it to us, and she said you can use this wherever you want. So all in all, the value that we are getting for that amount is incredible. It will cost a lot more if she didn't volunteer all of these services.
Thanks.
I had a couple of questions. First of all, you just mentioned that you're gonna go with vinegar or she's gonna go with vinegar as the quote herbicide, but it's not an herbicide, it's a natural process. So the use of Roundup, which I think she had initially proposed, is not gonna happen.
Which is unfortunate because she's licensed to do that, and she knows how to do it properly, and we would cordon off the area. She's dressed in like a scientific suit with and she does everything that is according to law and what she is licensed for. But we had pushback on that, so she said, hey, I'm not gonna touch that. I'm not gonna touch the Roundup part of it, and I'm gonna do it in a different way. And either way, the grass will be killed and the area will be prepared in the correct manner.
Right. Also, a couple of documents have your name, I guess, as the contact person. Will that be changed to Newtown Township?
Absolutely. It was just by chance that we met. As I said, I saw her at a lecture. We got together. She came to the park. I was the one there talking to her. But this is fully endorsed by the EAC, and other EACs in the area are going to come help us plant. They're going to, and in turn, we're gonna help them. It's, as I said, community driven. We've already put 32 trees in the park, the community has, and every single one of them is alive and growing and thriving, and it's because we have taken such good care of them. And when you plant trees, it doesn't just involve putting a tree in the ground. There is a lot that goes on after that. Trees have to be watered continuously for at least a year. Mulching is needed, deer fencing is needed, especially around here. There's a lot of work that goes into trees. So that is why, this pollinator garden is self-sustaining. It doesn't need, work from, Public Works. And pretty much we have a whole community that is ready to do what's needed to take care of it.
I noticed some Girl Scouts did a pollinator garden in Washington Crossing State Park recently. So this is something that's prevalent these days. I did have, I guess, one other question. The bottom line when I added up the numbers here in the proposal was $91.80. $9,180. I just want to make sure that I was correct with that.
I believe that's the correct number, right? Yes. Yes, okay. The top was 9,200. We couldn't go, we thought we had about 13,000, we didn't. So we adjusted the plan to reflect the 9,200 instead of the $13,000.
Okay, any other questions from the board? Sure.
I know I myself and I know the board at times have always been proponents of hiring local talent. And I noticed that this woman comes from Stockton, New Jersey, which is maybe 45 with traffic, could be an hour away. So I mean, she's gonna have some travel time to get here. And I'm just wondering why we didn't look for someone in the area. I'm sure this, our Newtown area, surrounding area, has a lot of landscape architects and so on that could probably have done this, but we're going outside of the area to hire someone who doesn't even live in Newtown. The other thing is, we never had a chance to vet this person. I mean, we get Boy Scouts that come up here and do projects, and they come up to the podium and they make a presentation to the board, and the board unanimously grants them permission to do this. This was never brought to the board for any kind of discussion. It was just slapped on us with this invoice, again, from a person from Stockton, New Jersey, of which I'm sure we even have someone on our planning commission who is a landscape architect that I believe would probably be willing to help. But the board has never had a chance to speak to this person. I mean, when we had talks about the AV system, we had the gentleman come down from up there and stand at the podium and we questioned them. But for some reason, this woman is immune from us either asking her questions and grilling. And with all due respect, no supervisor should be the representative for a person who's getting paid by the township to do this work. So I appreciate you giving us this information, but you're not the person doing the work. This woman here, Brittany O'Donnell, Garden Design, is doing the work, and she should be up there answering our questions. I don't need a long explanation. I don't need to be told that trees need to be watered or anything like that.
Short explanation.
But you shouldn't be giving the explanation because you are not the person doing the job.
I
She
agree.
is.
No, I agree. She had some, unfortunate, threatening types of, communications from people that should not have, brought this outside of township business, and that made her very apprehensive to come here, and, that is why she's not here to be nailed against the wall. She's here because she's giving us a lot of work for free, which nobody, of course, we've never asked anybody else to give us thousands of work for free to do this, but it's not a regular hiring event. This is something that somebody is volunteering their services for. I very highly doubt that we're gonna have anybody else in this township board from outside this township that will volunteer thousands of dollars in their design experience and the work that she has to do.
Again, thanks for the explanation, but I guess I'm not as clairvoyant as you are. to know that there is no one out there that would do this, especially as someone who lives in the township that would donate their time and expertise to do this. We put together a playground in Roberts Ridge, which was donated by a lot of people, their time. So there are people within this township that will be willing to donate their time and their expertise to doing something like this. Now, again, if this woman cannot come here and be afraid that someone's going to confront her, she should be answering questions that we have of her. Not sitting somewhere, Stockton, New Jersey, can't even watch us. I don't even think are we on in Stockton, New Jersey? I don't think so. But if she doesn't have the wherewithal to come here, how is she going to have the wherewithal to travel maybe every day from Stockton, New Jersey to take care of this? I just think we didn't look at any other people that could do this. We never put anything out there to ask for any other help. Again, this was just thrown in our laps, and we have to take what she's going to give us. The other thing is, I think we do have a meadow planned for that area. Is that correct, Mr. Manager? And a meadow is in some form of a pollinator garden. A meadow will perform probably the same functions of which we have planned to have be done. But I don't know, I just think that we didn't research this enough, we didn't inspect it enough, we didn't vet it enough, and we have never spoken to this person. Like I said, we've had Boy Scouts building little bridges over little creeks that have come here to give us plans and have gone to the Planning Commission and have gotten feedback from us, from the Planning Commission, from the Park and Recs Department. This stealth person hasn't shown up anywhere. And I just think someone who wants to do business in this township, free business may be for us, but I'm sure she's going to try to parlay it into doing business and pay business throughout the township. I'd rather see it go to a business person that is in our township. And then we hear that we're not business friendly. Well, this is a business too. And we have people that do this business, but we bypassed it that goes directly to this person. Of which, is she here? Is this person here? No. I wouldn't even know what she looked like if she did show up. I don't know. When we say we want to support local, why aren't we looking at this?
Can I ask a question of the manager? You mentioned the Meadow project. Who is going to do that project? Has that been bid out?
No, DCNR has a contractor as part of the grant.
Does that contractor ever come here and explain the Meadow process?
No,
Do we plan to do that?
I don't know.
Okay. I think there's a lot of people that we hire who are not township residents. We even have employees who are not township residents. So I don't see any problem with that particularly.
I understand what you're saying, Mr. We have police officers who are not township residents, but the whole thing is, we do have landscape architects that are township residents. And one sits on the Planning Commission, who I believe, I can't quote for instance, but I believe he had said he would have volunteered his work to help with this.
Well, I certainly was there in front of the planning commission and nobody has
And
contacted me.
you shouldn't have been doing the presentation
That you
in
were
front.
right about, but
in
it
front.
wasn't a presentation.
And it wasn't on the agenda. You tried to get it
No.
in, and it wasn't on the agenda. And you tried to get it on a conversation with the Planning Commission on that particular evening. You shouldn't be presenting it because, again, you are not the person doing the work. Unless, I don't know, unless you are personal friends with this Brittany O'Donnell, I have no
I'm
idea.
not. And I am doing a great part of the work, as I've always done in Roberts Ridge Park. And again, I don't know where her employees live, but it's 30 minutes from here. She is going to do the work. She's got her time frame. She's fitting us in. She has volunteered, as I said. I met her at a lecture, and she is preeminent in what she does, and very sought after for that. As far as the meadow, as you mentioned, a meadow is not a pollinator garden in any way, and it does not do that job. There are no trees in a meadow. Oak trees are needed as far as pollinator gardens, because that's part of the circle, how it works with birds and the plants and the oak trees, and it all makes that cycle of life. So we already have the oak trees. We certainly can't afford to go, buy trees as well. We have a plan that is already there, and it's been there since 2019, when the community got together to plant those trees. And the logical next step was to, and it was always in the minds of the community to do this as a next step. We just didn't know how we were going to do it until this person volunteered their services to help us. And then our community stepped up and said, yes, we will help you. The Boy Scouts, the STEAM departments at our schools, Goodnow Elementary, just name it. People are coming out to help. I've heard from people from the borough and from the township who are all so excited about this. It's a learning experience for our children and for our adults, and it's only positive in any way that I can see. As far as if you want to ask other people to put out bids for the amount of work she's doing and what she's charging, I can assure you, you're never going to get anything that fits within our meager budget for that.
I think the main point is that this is going to benefit Newtown. It's not going to benefit Stockbridge or wherever that town is. It's going to benefit the people and the children in Newtown. And that's what's important for us, I think, rather than who is hired. I mean, a street paving is done by companies out in the boondocks. I don't know where they're from, who they are. But, I think the main issue is who benefits from this.
Okay, I'd like to open it up to the public. Is there any public comment? Please come to the microphone and state your name and where you're from.
John April, Newtown Grant, biggest to the best. Could somebody explain to me, saying on the agenda here, payment from deferred revenue account? Somebody explain that? Whose deferred revenue? Is it earmarked just for this pollinator garden or Roberts Ridge, or is it for the whole township?
It was part of an agreement with the owner of the NAC, who took down, I think, 23 trees when he was doing some work at the NAC. And in lieu of those 23 trees that were removed, he set up a fund for Roberts Ridge Park to...
Just for Roberts Ridge?
Yes.
I'm going to ask him about that. I brought it up before. You say, great for the children. Got to remember, most of the township lives on the other side of the borough, not this Roberts Ridge side. So, what children? Is it the children in that small area right there, or you inviting other people over? I mean, there are parks on the other side of the borough. What would the annual upkeep of this garden be? Self-sustaining. Okay. When they said they were going to they were going to let the drainage area over there be the meadow. And a lot of residents were up in arms saying it was going to bring all kinds of insects and wildlife and all that stuff. What about this pollinator garden? It's going to bring the same thing.
closed system in which all of these, the birds, the insects, the trees, the pollinators, they work together to create, as I call it, the cycle of life that is needed for food production, for our climate, for all over the world. We're bringing a little bit of it here. We have one of the greatest and the only wildflower gardens in Washington's Crossing State Park. The only one of its kind, as a matter of fact. So what we're doing is bringing a little bit of that to Newtown Township,
And it's gonna cost us approximately $13,000. How much is this woman getting out of that?
she's
This
getting.
no name, this Miss O'Donnell that nobody knows, except you.
I don't know what you're talking about. Here you go. You wanna know? Here you go. I mean, she's known in her field. She's an expert in her field. She does this.
I never heard of her. I mean, most people up there never heard of her. I mean, you know.
You didn't go to the lecture at Friends Village where Doug Talent.
Yeah, and I give lectures too, you know.
A lecture,
As
yes.
a point of order, the amount is $9,200. I said $9,180, $9,200, and my thought would be the next time we want to do a pollinator garden, we look at places on the other side of the township, like maybe the library tract off Wrights Road, and we put a pollinator garden there.
It's dedicated open space now.
I don't think that would.
Got a big sign hanging up there, dedicated open space. Now you want to build something there.
No,
It's a pollinator garden, so
it's not a
open
building.
space, that doesn't conflict with open.
Well,
space.
it's bringing traffic in there, so the open space is just, you know,
There's a
open
private
for
road.
anybody to
Okay.
walk in or whatever. And when you put something in there, you know, it's not taken away from
Chairman.
what the sign says.
I think there's another public commenter waiting
Yes.
to make a comment.
Well, it's talking about pollinator garden, and I just don't see using taxpayers' money for this. Thank you.
Thank you. Please state your name and where you're from. No, it's not. Yeah, now it is.
I'm Ann Edwards. I lived on Essex Place in Headley Townhouses on the east edge of Newtown. I'm also president of the Martha Washington Garden Club. The members of this club number about 85. Unfortunately for you all, most of us are older than younger. But we have within our membership probably 7 or 8 certified master gardeners. We have a woman who is, I don't know, maybe the assistant manager, I'm not sure, out at Washington's Crossing Garden Center. We have a woman who lives on Liberty Street here in Newtown named Rami Cobb, and I probably shouldn't give her name because I haven't talked to her. She is one of the most outstanding people I've ever met who knows so much about plants. My point is that, also there is a small Newtown Garden Club. There is another very active garden club in Langhorne. I think it's called Four Lanes End or something like that. Anyhow, there's a wealth of talent that could help in some way. Frankly, most of us are not doing much on the knee bending and the pulling weeds anymore, but we have other people that we could probably tap into to help out. Whether we could come up with a designer, I suspect we know some, but I don't personally, unless the lady out there at the Washington Crossing Garden Center could do it. Deborah, she's phenomenal. But all I'm saying is, it sounds like you've got a good plan going. Frankly, I didn't know I needed my hearing aids tonight, and I am having a wee bit of trouble understanding your words, but I get the gist. If there's anything that we could do to help out, we would be glad to, okay?
And your name is Ann? Ann Edwards?
Ann Edwards.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Any other discussion from the board? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor of approving the pollinator garden for Roberts Ridge Park and payment from the deferred revenue account, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 3-2.